Today, a story broken. I'm just going to read the story for you. This is exactly what came across our wire here. I like saying wire. It makes me feel important. There are allegations, first of all, tax allegations against U.S. Senate candidate. There are allegations concerning the non-payment of taxes by a candidate for the U.S. Senate in Missouri. This time it's not incumbent Democrat Claire McCaskill, who is coming under fire. Republican John Brunner's campaign is acknowledging his former company failed to pay property taxes on a plane in 2006. Brunner has financed numerous ads, bringing attention to Ms. Caskill's perceived wrongdoings related to a plane registered to a business owned by her husband. In his defense, Brunner's campaign issued a statement calling the delayed payment an oversight. They blame it on tax advisors who missed a deadline. So who do you want to talk to when a story like this comes out? The man himself, John Brunner, who happens to be a friend of the show. John, thanks so much for spending a few minutes with us today.
Good to be with everyone. Thank you very much.
So, John, just talk to the people. Tell us about the story and what's your response?
Well, first of all, taxes should be paid on time and complete, and all bills paid on time and complete. And that's how we attempted to do things when I was active with the company. And obviously, some things slipped through. It shouldn't have happened. And as soon as we found out there were issues or problems, those taxes or bills were paid right away. Second of all, that I've never come out on any ads or issues dealing with taxes or airplanes or any of those issues. I'm right here now in across the middle of Missouri, been in Macon County and Kirksville. The whole issue right now is jobs, employment issue. On top of that, we have really tough weather for the farmers out here. It's a really tragic situation going on. And I had a chance to meet two shop owners, one in a grocery store and also one the next day in a cafe. And both these ladies were in tears. They're talking about how tough their business is, how tough the economy is, the energy prices, the regulations are crushing them. These are the real tough issues that we are facing here in Missouri and across the country. And this is what I've been talking about. I've been focusing on those things that are critical here to the livelihood of folks across Missouri. And that's why I got in this race after 33 years in manufacturing here and finding that too many career politicians just didn't get in there to get the job done. That's why I'm in this race, and I'm working as hard as I can to deliver that message.
So, John, let me tell you what I heard you say, and just make sure that I'm understanding you so that the listeners are understanding you, that on the tax issue, what I'm hearing you say is, you know what, if it happened, it happened. The buck stops with me. All the taxes should be paid, but it was an oversight. It was bookkeeping, not a character issue. And secondly, you're not hitting anybody for the payment or non-payment of taxes. That is not your issue. Fair enough?
That's a perfect summary, and that's absolutely critical here. And I'm sticking on those issues that are really, really hurting folks across Missouri right now. The same issues that affected me when I was trying to run a manufacturing business, the regulations came across. The fact that we don't have an American energy program, American energy policy, that the money's going to the Middle East, and that we have all kinds of changes in prices of energy. We're not competitive there. So that's exactly right. I'm not, again, as you said, not zeroing in on any of the issues that a couple of political reporters are trying to bring up at this particular point in time. I guess that's what you call politics, and those are the things you got to deal with. But you're right. I assume all responsibility and accountability. I wish you did everything perfect on time and complete, but a few things slipped through. But right now, the issues here across this state is jobs. We need jobs, and especially for these high school graduates and college graduates, 53% of the college graduates don't have jobs or are underemployed. This is tough, and it's not getting any better.
John, the last time you were on with us, the first time we met, you detailed how you came to your decision to run for this seat, and the conversations you had with your friends and your family and yourself. Now that you're out there on the road, on the campaign trail, shaking hands, meeting people, is it worse than you thought it was when you made this decision?
Well, it's a lot of hard work. It really is. But, there's always been a correlation between hard work and getting any kind of job done. We have a tough job here in Missouri and a tough job in America. I was particularly encouraged here with Senator Munslinger, who came in and endorsed my campaign today. He's one of the top agriculture folks across Missouri. He's a farmer, hard-working guy. We've been traveling this part of the state as well. He understands that the folks in the agriculture business, the small manufacturers, the small retailers, are all hurting, and he believes in me, along with the Missouri Soybean Association, the Pork Association, the John Deere folks, the Chamber of Commerce. All these folks are understanding we got to get the job done. So, I tell you, when you look in the faces of people that have tears in their eyes and say, we want to save our farms, we want to save our jobs, we need some help. And I said, I understand what you're going through. I've been hit with some of these same type of regulations. I just have a passion that says no matter how hard it is, no matter how tough that the career politicians want to attack you and want to ding you, I'm doing this because I really, truly believe in the folks across Missouri, and I'm going to work even harder. So anyway, it's a privilege to have this opportunity, and it's a privilege that have been given to us by those folks here are right now in the armed services in harm's way. They're taking the tough hits. They're in the tough battles. They're the ones with the real adversity. They pledge to defend the Constitution, and I hope to do the same thing here in the U.S. Senate as I did 37 years ago in the Marine Corps.
John, what has surprised you, if anything, being out there among the people, among the folks, the farmers, the working people of Missouri? What have you learned out there over the past few weeks and months that maybe you didn't realize before?
Well, I know folks were hurting, but I didn't realize how widespread it is. That's really, really tough. And folks are doing everything they can to hold on, hoping that there'll be some changes in Washington, D.C., hoping we can repeal this Obamacare program, hopefully we can pull back some of the red tape regulations. I talked to a guy today in the insurance business and said people are cashing in their insurance policies just to help to pay their bills. I mean, people are scraping bottom here right now. And I'm thinking, America doesn't need to be this way. Missouri doesn't need to be this way. We have all the energy that we could possibly need. We don't need these regulations. We have the highest tax rate in the world, and we have far too many trial lawyers and frivolous lawsuits going on. I mean, Americans want to work. We want to get back. We want to expand our farms, and we want to expand our factories. We want to hire people. So, I guess the summary is people are really, really hurting here, folks. And the other thing that's quite surprising is the tremendous support I've been given and encouragement here. He said, John, we need somebody who's not a career politician. We need someone who's actually been spending, decades working on the plant floor and traveling across America. So I'm encouraged by their support. And I'm also encouraged that given the chance, given the opportunity, given a little light at the end of the tunnel, our farmers can be back in business and manufacturing can be back in business and jobs can be there, and our kids and grandkids can have their chance at the American dream.
So, folks, if you're just tuning in, we're talking to John Brunner here, who is one of the three Republicans who's running for Claire McCaskill's seat. We've had John on before. We've had Sarah. We've had Todd on several times. And the story broke about an hour ago or so saying, hey, tax allegations against a U.S. Senate candidate. And so I have to commend John. I've always said, whether it was my time as a lawyer or my 12 years here talking to all of you, that when something comes out like this, and when I was a trial attorney, the best thing to do is the Bobby Jones rule. Call the close ones against yourself and say, yeah, you know what? That was me. This shouldn't have happened. And I believe that's what John is doing here, saying if there were taxes that should have been paid in 2006, regardless of who made the mistake, it was on my watch and the buck stops with me, my responsibility. Let's move on. John, we appreciate you being here today. Open door as always, and continued good luck out on the campaign trail.
Well, I really appreciate it, folks, and thanks very, very much. And we'll keep working hard. And like I said, this is nonstop. I'm heading my way down to St. Joseph, Kansas City, back to Columbia, circling around, continuing to deliver the message. And thanks for the opportunity today. Really appreciate it. And we're grateful things are cool. But pray for rain for these farmers, folks. They need help.
All right, John Brunner. Thank you, John.
Take care.
So, my own humble opinion on this, and I don't understand the issue. I don't understand the tax issue. I understand not paying something, not paying taxes, and unless there's something deeper, something sinister, because I think things can happen because of oversights, happens to all of us, and things can happen because of character issues where you go, let's not pay that, and just let's whistle in the dark, and I've done both. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I'm not going to be elected to any office. I would be doing interviews like this.
God, I hope not.
Nonstop.
I hope not.
But I think John handled that about the best way you can, is to say, yeah. I mean, he could have said, oh, that wasn't me. That was my accountant. His name's Mel, and he's a bastard, you know. And from what I heard him say, and when I summed it up, he could have said, "No, that's not what I said." Whoever made the mistake, it was his responsibility. Should have been paid. There you go. So if you want to not vote for John Brunner because a mistake was made, then that's your prerogative. Or if you think there's something deeper, it's your prerogative to look into it further. But I'm glad to hear from him that it happened. I take responsibility for it. And obviously, he wants to talk about other things.
Yes.
Like he's not a career politician.
Yes, we know that.
All right, quick break. We'll be right back. Dave Glover Show.